I think we can start. Hi everyone, my name is Ksenia and I'm marketing manager responsible for Academy project. To begin with, I will tell you a little about the webinar's agenda. The main part of the webinar is recording, but me and Konstantin Rupasov are here to answer your questions at the end of the webinar. We will start with the OneCI Academy overview, then let's move to the personal account. Then Konstantin Rupasov will conduct a step-by-step laboratory guide, and at the end, you will find a Q&A session to ask your questions. Please write it in the chat, but please know that you must choose the option all panelists and attendees when you write the questions to the chat. You can find this button on the top of the chat. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, for the first, I will tell you what is the Academy. Academy is combined platform for training. You can find the online lessons on OneC Enterprise platform and OneC ERP, quizzes and tasks for self-testing for each course and module. And of course, in Academy, you can find announcements and the schedule of regional courses. Next slide, please. For whom we developed the Academy. Our partners can use the Academy to buy certification attempts for the employees and explore OneC ERP fundamentals course for successful pre-sales. Our partners' employees will be able to build better applications up to 2 times faster and complete pre-sale projects and implementations faster and easier. And developers who are not yet the part of OneC community will be able to learn a new development technology that has helped automate business processes in more than 1.5 million companies and receive tasks from partners and become a member of OneC community. Now I will turn on the recording and we can dive deeper into the Academy. Okay, give me 1 second. Let's now move on to the Academy itself. It is located at academy1ci.com. 1 second. Okay, this is the main page of the Academy. From here, you can go to our courses. OneC Enterprise and ERP courses are now available at the Academy. Today, we are going to talk about OneC Enterprise Developer Training courses. The instructor of the courses is Konstantin Rupasov. You can ask him all the questions about educational process and the composition of the courses. And I will be able to answer questions regarding personal account and Academy. So let's log in and see how it all works. An account at my1ci.com and an account in our Academy are one whole, which means that if you are already registered in your personal account at my1ci.com, then you don't need to additionally register at the Academy. Just enter your account using your username and password. Let's see how it works. So that's very easy. Okay, let's go to the course page. For example, senior developer. Okay, just press the button Start Education to enroll to the course. I'm already enrolled in all courses, so let's go inside. The training consists of short videos and quizzes for self-testing. After finishing the video, go to the quiz, select the answers, and move on to the next episode. Let's try to solve the second quiz. I have already solved the first one. Let's try. Unfortunately, there was a mistake. But it's important to note that quizzes are not the part of the exam. They are created solely for self-testing, so don't be afraid to make mistakes. And at the end of the junior developer course, you can see instructions for taking the exam in the laboratory. Konstantin will tell you more about the laboratory a little bit later. Now let's go to a personal account and see how to buy certifications, link them, and track progress. I think many are already familiar with our personal account. Now there is a new section, Developers and Certifications. You can find it here. But first we need to purchase the certification. They are already in store. You can find it here. Now we are looking to the personal account from the partner side. So if you're thinking, I have two developers working and I want one of them to be certified at the junior level. I have bought the certification. Then I open developer and certification section, which is located here, and see the junior developer certification. So you must only press the button Pass to Developer, choose the first developer, and accept. So the certification assigned to your first developer. And what do the columns in this table mean? The first one is order ID. By clicking on this number, you can open the order card. The next column is certification level, the developer to which you have linked the certification, and you can see here not assigned if you haven't linked the certification to the developer, start and end dates of the certification, and statuses. What about statuses? Not started. The status is about your developer has not yet requested a login and password to enter the laboratory. In process is when the developer has already received the login information and will start soon. Failed is failed certification, completed successfully. The last column contains sections that you can make with certifications. View a successfully received certificate, change the assignment, or assign an unbound certification. Another section related to the Academy and certifications is developers. Let's go there. In this section, you can see your developers and their certificates, if they have it, of course, and also accept the request for linking from the developer. Now let's look at the developer's personal account. Buying the certification looks exactly the same as from partner. You can find it at the store here, certifications. But your certifications attempt table is slightly different. You will see a column partner. Here you can see which partner and when linked your certification. Most likely this is your employer. Or the column will say known if you bought it yourself. Start and end dates. Here is reflected when you started to undergo the certification and when you should finish. If the deadline is close, the date and time will be highlighted in red. The last column, actions. Yeah, as well as the partner, you can see here your certificate, and by clicking at the Get the Access button for certifications has not yet started, you will receive an email with the data for entering the laboratory. And as a developer, you can see your achievements here. If you have any questions about your personal account or the Academy, you can ask them in the chat. I will definitely answer them at the end of the webinar at the Q&A session. And now Konstantin Rupasov will tell you more about the exam in the laboratory and other things.
Hello everyone. My name is Konstantin, and today I want to talk to you about the same thing I want to talk about any other day of the week. The ONCE Enterprise platform, where to learn how to use it and how to get yourself certified as a professional ONCE Enterprise developer. Today is no different, except that we have a big announcement to make. We are proud to officially start the public beta test of the senior level certification for ONCE Enterprise developers. But before we get to it, let me remind you what we already had available before today's announcement in terms of the platform education and certification. The following video is a part of my presentation during the summit, so most of you probably already saw this, but just in case somebody has missed it, let me repeat myself. This is what the ONCE Enterprise courses lineup looks like. Everything starts from the junior developer course. Then the lineup splits into two separate specializations: developers who know how to build applications and DevOps who know how to unroll and maintain them. These courses are supposed to be taken one after another, because each next course expects you to know all the previous one's materials. More important is that you are not allowed to take the next level certification exam before successfully passing the previous level one. And this is the more detailed table that describes skill sets professionals gain after taking each of the courses. The junior developer knows how to build relatively simple applications, how to use the most common metadata classes and programming techniques, and how to reverse engineer and modify complex applications like 1C Drive, for example. Next down in the developers lineup is the senior developer, who knows how to build complex applications, how to use all metadata classes, including exotic ones, and how to use the 1C script language to the fullest. Further down lives the most proficient developer of them all, the architect. This one leads developer teams, knows everything about the platform, and oversees design and development process. The DevOps lineup starts with the same junior developer course, containing critically important information any 1C professional should know, and continues on to the engineer course. This course teaches you how to set up and maintain a relatively simple live 1C application with low uptime and performance requirements and a limited number of concurrent users. The next level is called DevOps, and it deals with the same kind of tasks, but on a much higher level. More complex applications, higher uptime and performance requirements, and hundreds or even thousands of concurrent users. Now let's zoom into the internal structure of each individual course. Each course is broken down into several independent modules. Each module covers one big topic and consists of approximately 1 hour of video lessons. Each module in its turn contains a bunch of episodes, each covering one small subtopic and lasting for about 10 minutes. And here is a little taste of how the content of our video lessons looks like.
So, this is our select statement. Its sole purpose is to retrieve data from the database, process them, and present the result in a table form. Inside of it, we have the select clause that defines what columns are to be in the query result. Next down is the from clause. This one tells the query what table to take the data from. If we want columns from some other tables to join the party, we use this join thingy. And it grabs, for example, the inventory balance records and adds it to the sales documents tabular section records. Okay, next down, the where clause. This one filters out the records that we don't need for whatever reason. Then we have the group by clause that aggregates the results. For example, sums up the similar products quantities like this. During this process, we need to sacrifice the fields not participating in aggregates, so no document number and quantity left for us anymore. The having clause filters out result records after they are aggregated. And the order by section sets the order the result records go in. So this is our select statement structure, at least the part of it we're going to look at in this module.
The second crucial component is our unique certification program that is also already available at 1ci.com. And these are the main highlights of the certification procedure. First of all, the certification exam is taken 100% online. An examinand uses RDP to connect to our laboratory server, where we already have a private sandbox set up for them. So you don't even need the ONCE Enterprise platform installed to your local computer to take the exam. To pass the certification exam, the examinand needs to implement a real-life functionality using the real-life ONCE Enterprise Designer, which obviously gives us a much more accurate sense of their skills than, say, quizzes and such. Then these tasks get checked automatically by our built-in check algorithms that provide you with detailed feedback in a case of error. So our certification process doesn't involve a live examiner and can be easily scaled up if need be. Now let me show you what the certification looks like from the examinand's perspective. Everything starts with me, an examinand, receiving an email looking something like this. Basically it says where I can get the information about the certification procedure and what login name and password I have to use to connect to our laboratory server. As soon as I'm ready to start the exam, I'm running an RDP client specifying my credentials from the email and establishing the RDP connection. Here I am at the laboratory server, and this is the first thing I see here. My dashboard, the HTML page containing the list of all certification tasks I need to implement. And inside are the detailed specifications for each of the tests. I also have the ONCE Enterprise platform already installed for me, and when I run it, there is the list of test infobases I need to implement the tasks in. To pass each test, I need to run the infobase in the designer and implement all the functionality listed here in the test specifications. Create the products catalog and the sales document. Sure thing, creating products and sales. And this is how I check if everything is done correctly. I run the application, and here is the button that runs the auto check algorithm. I'm clicking it, and here is my feedback. It says that I was supposed to create the product types enumeration, which is exactly the next requirement of my test specifications. So I move on, implementing whatever the requirements are, until another check gives me this feedback. Ta-da! I'm closing this test infobase and proceed to other tests until I solve every single one of them. And of course, the certification attempt is timed. The timer starts at the moment of the first login to the laboratory. And when the time is up, the sandbox gets deleted and my access to the laboratory gets revoked. So this was our course lineup and our junior level certification. The senior level certification looks pretty much the same in terms of the process. You install an RDP client, you connect to the laboratory, and you see the dashboard with the task specifications. Then you start implementing your solution in the infobase we already prepared for you and check them using the same check the test button. The big difference is the tasks themselves. They are way more complex and will take you for much longer. To be completely honest, I don't know how much time to allow for each task, and this is one of the main reasons why we run this public beta testing before the official launch of the certification. I know that some of you struggled with the junior certification, and oftentimes it wasn't because you don't know how to use the platform, but because of the specifications I gave you. They were way too short and formal. They not always gave you a good idea of what are the requirements, and they were given in a language none of us is a native speaker of, which might also contribute to the misdirection and confusion. If this was the problem with the junior level tasks, that would be a much bigger problem with the senior level ones, because as I already said, they are orders of magnitude more complex. So this time we decided to make things differently. First of all, we described the tasks in much more detail, and now they go along with the screenshots from the model application. The application we developed according to the task specifications, the very same one you are supposed to implement during the certification exam. This is already so much better, isn't it? But this is not all. I also published this model application to your laboratory sandboxes, so you can follow this link on the dashboard, run the application, and then click around checking out how it works and getting a better idea of the task you are supposed to implement. Another thing we need beta testing for is that there are probably some errors and oversights in our tests and in our checking algorithms. You are very inventive and sometimes you solve tasks in very unique ways we haven't foreseen when implementing our checks. This is the place where your input is precious for us, so I'm immensely grateful to all of you who took the time to send me their feedbacks. Thank you very, very much, colleagues, and please do the same when participating in this beta testing. Speaking of which, this is what it will look like. I've already sent out the invitations to all certified junior developers, and I've seen all of your replies. Later this week, I'll create sandboxes for you and send everyone their personal login and password. This week, we'll start the beta test for the first module of the senior developer course, accounting. We won't limit the time you have to finish your attempt, so you will be able to spend as much time as you need implementing the solution. After you are finished, we will ask you to suggest the time limit for this module's exam. We will also see in our logs how much time it took each of you to complete the tasks. Then we analyze this data and decide what the time limit should be. We will be also collecting your feedback and fixing all the issues you might find in the exam. We expect the first model's beta test to take about a week, after which time we'll launch the next module's exam and then the last one. We hope to finish all beta testing in May and launch the official certification before the beginning of summer. And of course, your participation in the beta testing is completely free of charge. And of course, all who passes all 3 modules will receive their senior level developer certificate. This is all I wanted to tell you about, and now let's get to your questions.
Okay, that's all. Let's start the Q&A session. You can write your questions at the chat, or you can raise your hand and I will unmute you and we can talk. Does anyone have any questions? Maybe about certification or about personal account or about the academy? We will be able to answer it now. Okay, the first question is about DevOps and architect.
Yeah, I can see that. Here is the thing. The architect level is almost complete already. So it will be also available somewhere in June or July, somewhere midsummer. As for DevOps, we are not sure how much it needed right now, because basically what DevOps is the analog of 1C expert level exam in Russian training program. And some of you know 1C expert is needed for very big implementations with hundreds and thousands of users, which we don't have yet internationally. So we will see on the demand, and depending on it, we will decide how soon it will appear. But for now, we don't have the plans for finishing the DevOps during this year. So the DevOps is in plans for the next year.
Okay, the next question is, will this certificate acceptable in Russia?
That's not that's the question for somebody else, not for me, because I'm not the one who decides what is acceptable in Russia. I can tell you that they will be the only certificates that are acceptable internationally and that are taken into account when you, for example, apply for a job in some international partner, or when your partner applies for some status, because partners have statuses the same way they do in Russia, and those statuses are dependent on the number of professionals available for this partner. So your certificates that you will get from us will be taken into account as a part of your partner's portfolio of skill sets. And but I'm not sure about Russia. That's probably should be asked somewhere in Russia. I wouldn't be surprised if it will be taken into account, because honestly, this course is very much different from what we have in Russia, as you probably know. The course itself is different, the certification program is different, and the big difference is that it's all in English. So if some Russian partner is interested in moving abroad and starting working in English, he will be very interested that you're so skillful in both the platform and English language that you managed to pass the English certification test. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know for sure. The next question is senior certification only available after junior certification? Yes, it is. The junior certification is already in the production version since January. So you can go and pass it right now. It's a relatively simple exam, which will take you for only 6 hours. So it shouldn't be a big problem. And after that, you are welcome to write me, to email me, and to apply for the beta testing of the senior level exam. Any plans to have video news channel podcast on Muncie News in English? Yes, there are actually, and not only in English. Right now we are working on the YouTube channel. We're still in the planning stage of this, but there will be some YouTube channel where we will share some short videos, like 5-minute news or maybe five-minute featurettes about some features of the platform or some hints, something we would like to share, and which is which doesn't fit well into the learning course, but anyway, it's important information, so we will be sharing it on our YouTube channel. Probably it should leave somewhere this summer. Podcasts from Muncie will be announced soon as well. Yes, podcasts are also a work in progress. So yeah. Any beta for architects? Yes, so architects, you probably mean the exam. The exam for architects will look pretty much the same as this one for the senior level. So we will also run some beta tests before official launch. And I'm not sure about the timeline for this one, but it will be this year. We publish the architect first, and we will give you some time to pass, to watch through all the videos, and then we will start working on the exam. Are you looking for Muncie English-speaking teachers? Yes, we are actually, and we work with some
a Russian native who speaks decent English, and they help me to create content for video courses and to implement the tests for exams. So please email me at k.rupasov@1c.com, and yeah, we will talk. Would you plan to duplicate the YouTube channel in Telegram? I don't know. Should we? Because Telegram is a pretty different platform. It's more like one-to-one communication. I'm not sure of the Telegram channel, but that's probably not a question for me. Ksenia, can you answer this?
Now we don't have plans to duplicate the YouTube channel on Telegram, but
if you think that makes sense, please let us know why. So yeah, we will look into it. Okay.
Maybe more questions?
Did I miss anything? No, I don't think so.
Okay. If you have more questions, you can ask it now or write to Konstantin Rupasov to his email, or to me if you have any questions about the Academy or personal account, how to buy certifications or something like this. I will write my email here. 1 second. Thank you for participation.
Yes, thank you for coming, guys. Always a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, so please check out our medias for future updates, because we will be meeting again. And yeah, if any of you are interested in participating in the senior beta testing, please email me, and I will make it happen. Okay.
Okay. I think that's all. We don't have any questions. If yes, you have 1 or a couple minutes. Today we had a short webinar. I think that's great after the working day. For someone, maybe it's on the start.
Not
of
for me.
working
Not
day.
for me. I'm just woke up. Okay, guys. Looks like this will be all. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.